Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart and welcome to part 2 of our Cartoon Network celebration in D&dcember. And be sure to examine our previous video on the shape-shifting Master of Darkness, Aku, right over here. I think it goes without saying, but it's pretty important for this particular character. Today we'll be covering the true hero of the story, the foolish samurai warrior, and hope for the past and future, Samurai Jack. Jack was born the son of the Emperor and a prince of his time. He was a standard boy who knew that his father had once sealed away the great monster, Aku. Jack lived a peaceful life and was fairly normal, including some fun cameos, until one day, Aku broke free of the seal and conquered his home. On the run, Jack began his never-ending quest to train and defeat the monster. And as you can see from the length of the video, he's going to achieve that really quickly. When we start the series, Jack has honed his skills for several years, learning from several great masters. He hopes to defeat the evil that plagues the land. He's noble, albeit naive to some people's intentions. I would say the samurai is, at the start of the series, lawful good. Jack is one of those classic heroes that is unquestionably good, and he's going to be tested, and it'll be curious to see how he changes. And if you're eager to see more content like this, be sure to channel your inner warrior and slash the like and subscribe button. Hone your senses and strike the bell, notifying you of all Loading Crew content. Yeet this and other Loading Crew videos through the time portal and share with your friends, and cry out to who else you want us to cover in the comment section below. And with that out of the way, let's go. If you haven't seen a single episode of Samurai Jack, you owe it to yourself to at least watch episode 1. It does an amazing job of showing Jack growing into a legendary badass with little dialogue in the first half of the episode. Just nat 20 intro.
No one attacks Aku's minions. Destroy him!
Returning home after years of training, the samurai kicks ass and takes names. With a quick pep talk from his father, our hero rushes off to face his mortal foe, lawful good.
Who dares to summon the Master of Masters, the Deliverer of Darkness, the Shogun of Sorrow?
Face to face with the Shogun of Sorrows, our protagonist beats down Aku. Unfortunately for everyone, Aku is a sore loser and yeets his opponent through time, lawful good.
Long ago in a distant land.
Not forgetting about this nat 20 anytime soon. Arriving in the distant future, the samurai learns Aku rules the future with an iron fist. Things aren't easy as he's forced to defend himself against some rowdy drinkers after apologizing. Neutral good.
No worries, old friend. Everything is under control.
Approached by the archaeological dog, the newly named Jack is asked to help the enslaved canine. Despite only knowing them for a few moments, Jack agrees. He saves the dog and slays a robot army, swearing that he'll find a way to defeat Aku. Lawful good. On the hunt for some food, Jack finds some strange blue creatures and their mounts. He discovers their mounts are actually enslaved by the blue aliens. Jack helps free the woolies, learning of the next leg of his journey. Lawful good. Jack helps a group of rocket scientists escape Earth. He learns that the scientists may be able to help him achieve time travel scientifically. In the end, Jack sacrifices his way home so that the others could escape Aku. Lawful good.
The ancient scroll of the Woolies.
Following up on the lead the Woolies gave, Jack learns of a jewel that will allow him back in time. He helps a strange woman named Ikra, who is also looking for the jewel. While Jack is able to best the defenses with Ikra's help, it turns out that Aku played him and has ruined his next chance to return home. Neutral good.
Those who reach the infamous well are granted one wish.
Jack goes after a lead on a wish-granting well on a tower guarded by archers. He takes his time, eventually undoing the curse that trapped the archers. Realizing his wish to return home would likely doom him, Jack destroys the well. Neutral good.
It was forever ago.
You want something?
Hot water, please.
Beset by a group of assassins, and after many recent failures and mounting stress, Jack snaps. He tries to calm down before Aku manifests his anger into Mad Jack. The two are evenly matched before Jack realizes that he must calm down. He succeeds, quelling his darker impulses. At least for now, neutral.
Oceanus, and the treasure that lies within it.
Hearing of another time machine beneath the ocean, Jack investigates. He befriends the native and is open about what he wants. Too bad it's another trap sprung by Aku. Jack is able to defend the people, leaving on his quest. Lawful neutral. Lured into a volcano by a strange voice, Jack dodges around traps and defenses before coming across a guardian. Jack is initially resistant to fighting it as it is not evil before learning Aku trapped the Viking here, who only wants a warrior's death. Hearing his plight, Jack goes all out, giving the man peace. Lawful good. Going across a long bridge, Jack meets the best side character of the series, the Scotsman. Jack tries to be diplomatic, but eventually loses his temper because the Scotsman is just so aggressive. The two end up fighting, with Jack even destroying the guy's bagpipes. You never mess with the Scots pipes. Chaotic neutral. Discovered by Aku's forces, Jack and the Scotsman are chained together, forced to cooperate. Working together, they beat the bounty hunters and leave as friends. Aw, neutral good.
Stitches, Mr. Shine, Mr. Pibbles, and Knuckles.
After saving some mobsters, Jack is offered to join their group before he declines. Learning that the group are working for Aku, Jack changes his mind and joins their ranks. After saving a man who was going to be rubbed out, Jack helps pull off a heist. He gets the jewel and attacks Aku. He's stopped, and a frustrated Jack asks his mobsters to return the jewel. Chaotic neutral.
Why? At last, my quest has come to an end.
Failing to get another time portal after Aku plays Keep Away, Jack discovers a nearby tribe of Monkey and man who returned to Monkey, who has insane airtime. Jack learns how to jump good while he teaches them how to defend themselves. We're just going to give this whole thing a quick lawful good. Vignette time. Jack continues his quest to find a way home, coming across a lying two-headed worm. Escaping the bowels of the beast, Jack defends himself against some metal-eating robots before they eat themselves. And finally, Jack tries to free a magic wish-granting fairy. When they both end up trapped, Jack uses one of his wishes to free them both, giving up on his chance to go back home. Lawful neutral, then lawful good. Captured, Jack is forced to survive in the Dome of Doom. It is the King of the Hill struggle as Jack is crowned champion. Getting his sword back, he frees himself and the slaves. Neutral good. Sought out by the Scotsman, Jack is asked to save his bonny lass through a loophole. Jack honors the bro code and proves himself to the Scotsman clan and helps out. Of course, she didn't need that much help. Lawful good. Jack finds several villages destroyed by Aku-sanctioned robots. Seeking them out, Jack is unable to cut them. Luckily, he finds a solution in both the power of science and his ancestors, I guess. Awful good. After saving another village, Jack takes a break at a nearby stream and learns he's home. It's honestly heartbreaking to see Jack realize where he is and remember his past. He rests, leaving again to help someone in need. Neutral. After losing another time portal, a frustrated Jack offers to help a group of monks up a mountain and obtain a great power. While he is protecting the monks, Jack makes several rash decisions in his frustration. He nearly gives up before remembering why he's fighting. Reaching the top, Jack renews his vows and continues his quest. Lawful neutral. Jack helps a local village from a foul-smelling dragon. Jack chooses the path of least resistance and helps everyone without any harm done. Lawful good.
A great prey runs free on my planet, terrorizing all that I have worked for.
While resting in the slums in Aku City, Jack is attacked by the intergalactic hunters, the Imakandi. Check the Aku video if you haven't already. Jack defends himself, proving himself as the most worthy prey to the aliens and being set free. Neutral. Jack deals with another of Aku's minions, Damongo, and his endless army. He is able to free the souls of the trapped and defeated Damongo. Neutral. Neutral good, actually, for freeing souls. Okay, this episode is weird. Jack chases after a rabbit who stole his clothes. He runs from the police and angry people before finding the culprit. He gives her some robot slug tusks that he found earlier in exchange for his gear back. Neutral?
Your backpack?
Continuing his adventures, Jack finds a group of Spartans, 300 give or take, in an epic battle. Jack jumps in to help and helps turn the tide of the never-ending battle in their favor. If you haven't seen this episode, you're missing out. It's pretty good. Lawful good. Jack battles some aggressive bikers harassing some civilians. However, his shoes are destroyed and he spends the rest of the episode finding a substitute before a traditional Geta crafter helps him out. The first thing he does is go after the bikers who have terrorized the city. Neutral good.
Thank you.
Ah, classic D&D adventure, transformed into a chicken and forced into a cockfight. Since he's mostly defending himself again, this is pretty easily neutral. He gets better, though.
Is there something wrong?
Coming to a seemingly empty town, Jack learns that the darn music is corrupting the youths. No, really. Jack sneaks in and battles the evil DJ working for Aku. He then frees the teens' minds and destroys the music. Neutral good. So while Jack doesn't do a lot in this episode, he does save a very good boy before heading up to his next destination. And he's a very good future puppy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Anyway, he deals with a recently separated couple of assassins, beating the guy and totally missing the woman's seduction. It's a really fun episode regardless. Lawful good for saving a good boy. The next two episodes are pretty similar for the dings, even if they're really good. Jack defends himself against zombies risen by Aku and minions of Set. Jack endures the dangers and is able to outlast the threat using his cunning and battle skills. Neutral twice.
He will guide you through the city to the foothills of Kazuo.
So here's a very interesting debate. Jack is led to a time portal that is guarded by a mysterious man. After failing to convince the Guardian to let him pass, Jack tries to access the portal and gets wrecked. Since Jack wasn't aware of the Guardian's nature and he's going to the pass to save everyone, I'm going to label this as lawful neutral, but feel free to debate that. Jack comes across a very annoying creature who begins following him. Despite some hijinks, he doesn't hold up any ill will until he destroys another time portal. I completely get why Jack is furious and ditches him, and we'll label this as chaotic neutral for ditching the creature, even if they do reunite by the end of the episode.
No, man! That's a magic type show! You need to check around the swamp!
Following up on a new lead, Jack meets a hermit and gathers relics belonging to Cronus, the Titan of Time. When Aku reveals himself as the hermit, Jack surprises his mortal enemy, revealing that he always knew, destroying the Titan and the two of the three artifacts. Not a bad idea to get Aku close, even if it doesn't work. Chaotic good.
Excuse me,
Jack finds a girl and her family trapped in a haunted house. Jack battles the demons haunting the family, freeing them from their torment. Neutral good. Traveling through the woods, Jack finds the order of monks he once belonged to. Learning of a way back home, Jack and the two monks travel to a portal, but are attacked. Even though they insist on leaving them, Jack goes back and saves them, losing his chance. While he's not angry at the Shaolin, it's clear Jack's morals is crumbling. Lawful good.
In appreciation for saving our humble tribe from extinction at the hands of the evil Aku, we give you this map.
After saving another village, Jack learns of another time gem in Aku's possession. He tries to sneak in, only for another thief to be pulling the same job. And while they briefly work together to survive, the thief doesn't want to share, and in the end, they both lose the gem. Lawful neutral. Wandering alone, Jack is summoned to save a nearby village. Stopped by some giant robot lobsters, Jack must also contend with one of Aku's assassins. He battles and beats the bot, saving the child in the process. Neutral good. Jack fights against the giant robots before he's given the means to fight. Helping some friendly robots, Jack pilots his own stone mech and saves the day. Fuck yeah, lawful good. Avoiding a storm, Jack meets the most boastful opponent yet, the Samurai. Stopping some assassins, Jack ignores Samurai's taunts before his tea is fucked with. Finally relenting, Jack beats Samurai with bamboo sticks while trying to teach him how to be a proper samurai. Seeing some potential after the guy saved him from the sneak attack, Jack gives him some kind words and leaves. Neutral good. Fighting another batch of robots, Jack becomes infected with Aku's essence. This forces him to commit evil acts as Jack fights to stay in control. Getting some help with some monks, and after losing another time portal, Jack purges Aku from the system. He then goes back and rights a few wrongs that he has committed. True neutral for the first bit, and then neutral good for correcting everything.
I have come here before everyone. I will go first.
This episode may not have a lot of Jack, but God is it good. A group of elite bounty hunters come together to get a huge reward on Jack. Jack arrives after the bounty hunters agree to work together and plan a surprise attack. Too bad Jack is so good he literally takes out all of them in seconds and leaves. Neutral.
And they asked this guy for help. Okay, so I guess he totally freed them from Aku's minions.
Caught by surprise, Jack is hypnotized by a group of sirens. He completely forgets who he is and wanders around before getting saved by the Scotsman. Getting his memory back, Jack takes down the sirens and saves everyone, but not before wanting to thank his friend and row him back, turning into friendly competitions. Neutral good.
I am forever in your debt.
Spotting a crashed ship and its people taken by Aku, Jack sneaks in and gets a silent kill on the Shogun of Sorrows. Having the perfect kill shot, Jack stops his attack when he goes to save the aliens who are set to be in prison. Jack slays the guards and defeats them as they repair the ship to return home. Neutral good. Defending himself against a dozen of what's left of Aku's assassins, Jack is met by the Master of Masters. Jack is naturally skeptical of Aku's offer for a fair battle because, well, he's Aku. He agrees to a fight with no sword, but asks Aku to come with no powers. Of course, Jack still doesn't trust Aku and has several fake swords hiding everywhere in the arena, and then beats Aku handedly. Winning the fight, Jack watches Aku flee. Lawful neutral. Vigilante time again, Jack endures the harsh deserts as his journey continues. Coming across a tainted spring, Jack feigns being poisoned before using it on the saboteur. He then battles an ice ogre who wanted to beat him. And finally, Jack resists a forest trying to kill him by lulling him into a false sense of security. Neutral 4 times.
Like Aku got himself a little problem. A problem that won't go away. A samurai problem.
Unaware that Aku has sent one of his top assassins after him, Jack defeats himself. He wins, but learns that the robot had a robotic good boy in the clutches of Aku. Neutral.
Onions makes his breath reek. How's that different from any other day?
Finding a boy captured by some robotic ogres, Jack saves the baby. He then takes care of the baby with the tales of his home while looking for his family. Jack succeeds, continuing his quest. Neutral good. Finding another time portal, Jack watches as Aku gleefully destroys the final portal. Shattered, Jack can't control his rage and attacks. Tricked in by chaos, Jack's trauma reactivates as he killed an innocent baby goat, losing the sword and himself into despair. Chaotic neutral. For 50 years, Jack wanders aimlessly. While he helps people, it's only because it's all he knows. He tries to drown out the voices of guilt after years of battle. Like his father, the countless dead, and his own guilt telling him to stop fighting. Neutral good. 50 years. You know what? Let's go 10 times.
Samurai Jack! Man, it is good to see you, babe.
Arriving in a newly destroyed town that he avoided, Jack battles Scaramouche the Merciless. This includes stopping the mechanical maestro from telling Aku that he lost his sword. In the end, Jack destroys the robot and takes the weapons before leaving, chaotic neutral. Traveling aimlessly and defeating another beetle drone, Jack is attacked by the daughters of Aku. Working under the belief that they're robots, Jack tries to avoid them only to be outclassed. He's fatally injured, and while he's able to kill one, he's horrified that he killed another living person. True neutral. Left floating downstream, Jack processes what he's done. With some help from a wolf, Jack has enough time to recover and form a strategy, giving the daughters one more chance to leave unharmed. Jack battles his latest threat. He wins, but is hardly happy by what he's done. Lawful neutral. Finding one of the daughters, Ashi, is still alive, Jack tries to understand her motives and explain that Aku is evil. This continues even after they're both swallowed by a monster and Ashi is still trying to kill him. Ignoring the temptation to simply kill her, Jack rescues her as they escape. In the end, this is enough for Ashi to realize that Jack is not the monster she was raised to believe in. Neutral good.
Get on.
Returning to the mainland, Jack is ready to wander alone before Ashi demands evidence for his anti-Aku beliefs. While he initially declines, Jack shows Ashi Aku's destruction, his greed and disregard for life. And while he's able to convince her, Jack has no plans to defeat Aku. Neutral good.
I've seen enough.
Samurai Jack, you come.
Learning of a village whose children were captured, Jack and Ashi rush in to rescue them. In the chaos, Jack believes he accidentally killed the children and finally breaks. Giving into the despair after seemingly going too far, Jack goes off. Normally this would be at least chaotic neutral, but because this is based in seppaku to regain his honor in death, I'm going to label this as lawful neutral, but feel free to change that.
Samurai? Jack?
Returning to his ancestors' burial grounds, Jack plans to commit seppaku. He's ready to go through with it and let the specter haunting him do their worst until Ashi reveals that the children survive. Snapping him out of his funk, Jack saves Ashi and realizes that he needs to finally look for the sword that he once thought he lost. Lawful neutral for the seppaku, I know, and then neutral good for continuing his journey. Jack returns to where he had once lost his sword and searches for Ashi. Realizing that the problem has been himself all along, Jack meditates. He realizes that he's lost mentally as well and needs to be rebalanced. Casting away his anger and guilt, Jack returns with sword in hand. Lawful neutral.
This looks good.
Have you had it before?
With everything set, Jack travels with Ashi and avoids more assassins and monsters. The two begin growing closer before it comes to a head. Jack gives into his emotions and gets some smooching in, but doubt comes in immediately. Dude is so conditioned to losing that he worries something bad is going to happen. Big oof and mega relatable. Neutral. Distancing himself from Ashi while investigating the Guardian's resting place, Jack admits his worries about losing Ashi. Too bad Aku shows up, believing that his enemy has lost his sword, but is ready to bounce. Jack goes in for the kill, only to learn that Aku is Ashi's father and can control her. Jack tries to convince Ashi, but can't stop her without hurting her, in the end giving up. Chaotic good for abandoning Ashi, and true neutral for stopping.
Ashi, fight. I know you are still in there.
Strung up for public execution, Jack spends most of the episode trying to convince Ashi to break through Aku's mind control. While the resistance comes, Jack grabs his gear and tries to convince Ashi to break through. However, he does have a cute scene proving that he's a one-woman guy to his best friend. Neutral good. Dragged into Aku's essence, Jack reveals his love to Ashi. The power of love frees her and gives her mastery of Aku's powers. Realizing their opportunity, Jack and Ashi leave the battle and jump into the past. This is kind of tricky as everyone in the future is kind of boned, but they're going to stop Aku from the beginning of time. So it's kind of a weird neutral good, not lawful good, only because of time travel, I guess. Now, back in his original time, Jack wastes no time and Zerg rushes Aku, giving his enemy no time to counter. After the beatdown from episode 1, Jack finally defeats his longtime enemy. Lawful good. With evil defeated and his long journey over, Jack proposes to Ashi. However, tragedy strikes as the timeline adjusts after a very long time, and Ashi is grandfather paradoxed out of existence. Grief-stricken, Jack goes to be alone, reflecting. Unless, of course, you did that video game where Ashi somehow survives and the two live happily ever after. Your pick, I guess. Neutral. Now, I really want to emphasize, Samurai Jack, for the most part, is a great series. The series works well as a one-and-done adventure or as an ongoing epic. The premise of a time-displaced hero isn't new, but Jack is both badass and very sweet. He's able to have goofy adventures while also having heavy moments about his tragic past. Jack is a kind of character that you can put into most settings, and he just kind of works. He'll go with the flow and do what's right and stop anyone who is attacking him while doing the right thing. Add in absolutely stunning visuals and you've got a legendary series. But I have problems with Season 5. Switching to a more serialized story for Jack's final adventure makes a lot of sense, but the premise of Jack going through hell after 50 years and being trapped is a good pitch, and hell, from what we can even see in this video, that there was always darkness and guilt growing within Jack from as early as like Season 2 or something. But overall, I feel like the series went out with a bit of a thud. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like a Nat 1 ending. I mean, we've seen Nat 1 bullshit endings. It just seemed like it was kind of forcing a tragic ending with Ashi lasting long enough to get married, but then disappeared on their wedding night. Like, what is this? I'm not mad. It's just kind of odd, right? I'm not the only one who felt this was weird. But, I don't know, what did you guys think? Did you like Samurai Jack? I did like it, I just feel like it needed a better ending. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Thank you to the patrons, and I'll see you all next time.